welcome back to another Random Sam Epic Mom book review time. Now this one, I do a lot of books in series. This one is a two-part book, so 2 books, 1 series. I have done this author in the past, Patricia Briggs. This series is the Raven series. It starts off with Raven's Shadow and then finishes with Raven's Strike. Now these books she wrote quite a while ago, almost 20 years ago, I think now. Let me look it up. They were copyrighted 2004. So, yes, 20 years ago. Very wonderful story. These ones are not standalone books. You really do need to read both of them together because you're not going to get the backstory or the conclusion if you don't read them both. So that's why we're kind of talking about both of them right now. Alright, Raven's Shadow. You get introduced to your 2 main characters. Seraph, who is part of a group of people, travelers, who some of them are magical, some of them are not. They are pretty much fulfilling their people's sacred duty of fighting against, a darkness, shadowiness that has been playing for hundreds of years. But they're looked down on. I mean, it's kind of like how some of our people today look down on gypsies a couple hundred years ago. Very bad, but, people are idiots. So, what are you going to do? And her traveling, they're called travelers because, again, they travel all about. Her clan has just died because of a plague. Plague happened. It's terrible. Again, this is set in a different world where it is very, I don't want to say medieval, but very, back then. There's no cars, there's no technology, none of that, okay, guys? So, she's just lost almost her entire clan to a plague. The only 2 people left is her older brother and her. And as they're traveling, they stopped at a village, and because of prejudice, her brother was killed. And the innkeeper is trying to sell her to make a profit. Well, in traveling on his way home after being in a war for like 10 years, he's been fighting, this man, Tyr, he is, again, on his way home, he's seen a lot. Through his military experience, he's seen that, those with magic, wizards, all that, they're just people. There's good and bad and everything. And he just wants to get home. He's done. He left as a 15-year-old. He's coming home in his 25s. And again, you gotta remember, guys, back then, before technology and everything, you became an adult a lot quicker than what you are now. So Seraph is, a little around 16, 17 years old at the beginning of this story. But in her life, because she does have power, she's considered a raven who has a lot of magical abilities. She's had to fight a lot of darkness, so she's a little bit more mature than you'd expect for a 16-year-old. And he is very battle-hardened, so even though he's 25, he's very, very mature. He's considered a mature adult. He saves her. He tricks them, and he's like, oh, no, I'm going to take... So he buys her, but it's really just him trying to save her from being, burnt at the stake like her brother was just done. And that's just the start of their adventure. He's going to take her home, offer to find her another traveling clan, and just through a series of things, they're going to, end up getting married. And it's just going to be through that. And after 20 years, it's going to skip ahead to 20 years they've been together. They have kids. Now, for Saphira in her tribe and such, or clan, for travelers, ravens, as her classification for what type of order she's in, they normally do not marry. They don't have mates, they don't have kids, anything like that, because, magic and strong emotions usually don't mix. And so she gave up her duty, she gave up her, what was expected of her, and had a family. She settled down. So she had kids, she had a husband, went against everything she'd been taught. But all of her kids end up having powers. Now, for the Travelers, there's 6 orders. They're all kind of classified by birds. There's Healer, there's Guardian, there's Hunter, there's Weather Witch, you got it. So, and you got all that. And Bard. Somehow she ended up finding the one Bard who was born of the rest of the people, who wasn't a Traveler. So again, already weird situation like that. So they've got powerful kids, he's powerful, all that. So through a series of events, he gets kidnapped. And they tell her that he's dead. She's going to find out he's not, and she's going to have to go save him. And it's funny because he's going to tell everybody, it's like, okay, you guys are screwed because my wife is going to find out about this. And she's going to come, and you are all going to regret it. And throughout the 2 books, everybody's going to be constantly saying, okay, you need to be scared of her. Okay, she's got powers. She will use them. You do not want to mess with my wife. He's constantly telling everybody this. And Tyr is always coming off as a very, open, genial type person. Now, Tyr is kidnapped by this secret society, and they're trying to steal his abilities. But in order to do it, they had to have him prisoner for a year and a day. It's going to take that long to, Well, they set him up in the secret society where they're kind of pandering to the bored second and third sons of the rich people that they're kind of trying to corrupt. And they really picked the wrong guy, because bards are usually just known as being the storytellers, the musicians, all that. And they aren't expecting much from him. They've forgotten that he used to be a soldier. So he's taken this group of young men who aren't even considered men yet. They're just considered boys. And he's seeing potential in them, but he's seeing how these masters of this little society cult are just ruining these kids. And through his music and everything, he's starting to change them. He's starting to make them realize, you're better than these idiots. So within just a couple of months, a season, really, he has gone from this order where all these young kids are being given the chance to be decadent, all this, whatever they want, to giving them self-esteem, teaching them, okay, if you're going to fight, let's do it right. He runs them through drills of how to use swordsmanship properly. Gives them self-worth. Makes them feel good about themselves. Stands up for themselves. Shows it. Through a series of unfortunate happenings, meets the Emperor and makes the Emperor, who has at that point been a drunken sot who nobody respects. He's been an emperor in name only. And he's going to give the Emperor self-esteem. He's going to make him realize he's worth more. And he will be rescued by the end of the book, the first book. And then the second book, oh my goodness, just more and more traveling. They're going to have to find the bad guy who started the whole cult, who has been sucking an old god's power and is just trying to destroy the world for his own powerful purposes. And they're just going to, again, keep doing this. And with it, their kids are learning their powers. They're, as a family, going to work together. And it's just a wonderful story. It is... I had put off reading this book because, again, you get into the books that you've read and read and read. And this one, I finally got around to it, reading it, because I just always read her long series over and over again. And this one, you get into the first book, and you just got to reread some of the sections. Like, wait, did I really read that right? And I loved it because the characters are so different. Tyr and Seraph come from 2 such different backgrounds. He was a baker's son, and he didn't want to be a baker. He becomes a farmer. But his family, his sister and his wife just have never gotten along. Everybody has looked down on his traveler wife because she's so different. But there's going to become a lot of acceptance because she's done so much to make things acceptable. And they're going to have to turn around and reevaluate what they think. The Emperor is going to change that. These young men, this group, is going to come together and be more than what they were. these young kids who thought they were just a farmer's kids are going to realize they have powers. One who thought that nobody would accept him because of what his powers were is going to say, oh wait, I am acceptable. My siblings do love me. I am going to find love. Just so amazing to all these things that they thought. So, Seraph, who thought this is what it was, these are the reasons we do this is why my people do this, is going to be confronted with the truth of why things happened. And she's going to say, you know, no, this isn't working for me. No. I'm going to have my passion. I'm going to have my family. You all are going to get out of my way, and we're going to do it my way. And I love that. I love strong women characters. I love strong men characters. And Tear, I have to say this. It's probably my own personal thing because, again, I grew up with a dad, a stepdad who are just very open, friendly men. And Tear is just, again, he comes off as super friendly. And in the book, Tear's daughter will tell them, it's like, you know, everybody's scared of my mom. But they really need to be watching out for my dad because he might come off as carefree, jovial, just, you know, a great person. But he's the one you need to watch out for. He's the one that you are gotta be worried about. And she's right, because he is strong. It's not just physical strength, it's that strength of character. And his biggest strength is that he can pull that strength of character from other people around us. And that is one of those things that, even in this day and age, those people have such power in them that they're the type of people that can either A, start a cult or lead an army. They're the type of people who will bring you together, and if they are a good person, will inspire you to be the best you can be. They're that one teacher who always saw that you could do better. Or they're that one person who nitpicks you and makes you feel like you're the worst person ever and makes you want to jump off a cliff. And to see him be such a wonderful person, to use his music and just to do so well, I loved Tear. Tear was just such an amazing person. And I have met so many people like him in real life that I could just relate to that character. I could just want to see him and his struggles, and it was just so moving. Because again, being a parent, seeing Seraph's struggle and change from, you know, an angry young woman to a mom to struggling to take up her role as a raven or witch, whatever. And again, having to deal with a lot of guilt that she deals with because she's worried that, okay, I gave up my calling to be safe here and have my family, so she's going to feel a lot of guilt over that. But to acknowledge it and be like, you know, no, I did what was right for me. That in itself is always really hard because, again, a lot of us get put into these little niches where it's like, okay, this is how we grew up, this is what we were told, this is what is expected of us. And it's hard to get out of that niche. But it's even harder to acknowledge who we used to be with who we are now. So, I'm going to stop, you know, ruining the plot for you and everything. It is a wonderful story. This is one of those books that you're going to want to read. I say book. It is the 2 books, guys. They're wonderful books. You can get these on ebook. You can get them on paperback, hardback, whatever. You can get them in used bookstores, because I actually found these 2 at a used bookstore. You can get them at a regular bookstore. It just does not matter. But it is a wonderful story. And again, you're going to need both books. You are going to need to take the time to read them. And I'm not going to lie, guys, there are going to be sections that you're going to want to go back and reread to get those nitty details, because they're going to grip you. Just like most of her writing. Patricia Briggs is an amazing writer. She takes the supernatural, the sci-fi, another world, and she makes it not only relatable, but gripping, to the point where she gets those human emotions and she makes you part of the story. And I hope, if you guys have read it, you will let me know what you thought about it, or once you do read it, let me know if it gripped you like it gripped me. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Please get out there, read a new book. try a new author, and let me know if you find somebody awesome, because I'm always willing to try someone new. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Please check out our other videos already on YouTube, and give us a like and subscribe. And if you hit that bell for notifications, you'll know when we put something new out. So try to make every day matter by finding the fun. You guys have a great one. Bye.